Welcome to the show. I'm at the Diversity and Inclusion in India Forum, which is happening in Mumbai. This is an event organized by Community Business. And I'm about to speak to Jayakanthan Muthusubramaniam, the head of talent and diversity at Thomson Reuters, about how the business is being inclusive in India. Jay, 10,000 employees in India, it's already a pretty diverse context, but do you do anything in your business that's going to actively encourage and embrace diversity?
Yeah. As an organization, both globally and in India, we are very, very committed to kind of increasing the level of diverse workforce we have. It's a commitment which our CEO has made this year and last year, where we've proactively decided to look at increasing the talent pools from non-traditional ways. The traditional talent pool has always been the white male, isn't it? Or in India, the able-bodied Indian male, okay? So we want to really break out of that and try to get talent from all other aspects of society, which kind of reflects the society we live in. We have 50% of women in the world, and I don't think organizations have 50% of women there, okay? 10% of India's population has some form of disability. I don't think organizations reflect that, okay? 10% of India has different sexual orientation. At least 10% of our employees don't really come out and say they have different sexual orientation. So we've decided to really focus on 4 different aspects of diversity to make sure that we are able to move the needle. One is gender, and when I say gender, it's about really increasing the ratio of women at our management and senior management positions, because that's where we thoroughly lack, okay? The second is people with disabilities, about attracting, retaining, and developing that talent. Then creating a safe place for people of alternative sexual orientation, that they can bring their whole self to the workplace. It's not a strategy to attract talent, but it's to make sure that people who are there are contributing effectively.
Sure.
Okay? And the last one, which we've taken very, very baby steps, is to tap into this huge talent pool of socio-economic underprivileged. India, as you know, is a country which is slowly booming, and as a result, we have a huge population of first-generation graduates who probably are very hardworking, very smart, but probably don't have those soft skills which make them successful in organizations. So we want to tap into that talent pool. So very conscious that we want to, I know diversity is there around us, but then sometimes the diversity is not reflected in the workplace, and we want to make sure that it is reflected. So we are putting in place programs, processes, policies, and engagement with our employees which will drive that, because we need to create artifacts first of diversity, that we are open, and second, we need to make our employees understand why we're doing that.
Engagement is an important word there, because I think it's one thing to be inclusive, to embrace diversity, and it looks like it sounds like you're doing a fantastic job of that. But the next thing is then, how do you integrate and engage people with each other, given their diverse contexts and backgrounds and differences, and create an inclusive organization and an inclusive culture. So what are your thoughts on that?
So one of the things, which again, to create that engagement, what we've done is we've kind of looked at a 4-step process. In corporates, we love doing those 4-step frameworks, isn't it?
I hope you don't have an acronym for it.
No, I can invent one if you want, but then currently we don't, okay? But the 4-step process was obviously to first create visible artifacts of embracing diversity. We wanted to really go out and tell our employees that we want to do that. So some of the things which we've done is we just moved into a new building in Bangalore. We made sure that it was universal design, that people of all abilities can access all aspects of the building. Then we also wanted to create, modified transportation for our employees who use wheelchair, because in India we don't have that. So those were artifacts there. Then from the LGBT space, what we did was we were probably one of the very few companies in India who have embraced a local policy which allows people of same-sex partnership to enroll them in medical insurance plans, which is like a novelty in India. We've done that. So that's a big artifact saying that the management supports people with alternate sexual orientation. Then from a gender perspective, we are about to, announce tomorrow, in fact, a big change to our whole maternity adoption and surrogacy policy, which makes us like leading edge in the country, for example. Okay. I can't speak about that today. After tomorrow, we'll be able to speak about that. So that's another big thing which we've done. And then from a socio-economic background, we are trying to showcase employees who have been really successful coming from those backgrounds, not as part of any systematic program, but organically. Okay, so that's the first thing we did. Then second, we realized that it's really important that our senior management get a buy-in to this. So we kind of took one brush and painted everyone with a series of workshops and training programs around sensitization. Okay, so the top leadership within
That's
India.
fantastic. So you've pretty much tackled every single rung.
Yeah, and then what
of
we did,
employees.
around 1 month ago, was we ran this huge blitzkrieg of a diversity week in India, where we tried to touch upon each aspect of this through plays, through workshops, through training programs, competitions. We had a Twitter contest asking people, what does diversity mean to you in 140 characters? Okay, so we did all that, and we've kind of created groundswell support for that. Okay, so now employees on the ground feel that we need to do this because not everybody is as privileged as I am. Okay, so that's the message.
So you've already sort of created that perspective shift
that.
and thought process. That's fantastic. So what is the impact you're seeing of this sort of inclusive initiative?
Yeah.
In terms of two things. One is the culture of the team itself, the
Right.
larger team and smaller teams
Right.
within the larger team.
Right.
And two, in terms of productivity.
Yeah. So, and the third one is in terms of talent attraction as well. Okay. So what we've done is, if you really look at some of the systems and processes we put in place, has actually resulted in like 100% increase in the number of women joining at manager and above kind of levels, which is fabulous for us. Same increase in our technology roles, because that's another place where we have a skewed gender ratio. So that was good. And in terms of employee engagement and what people feel about it, our employee engagement survey actually asks questions on, do you feel this organization is diverse? Do we embrace all kinds of differences? And we've scored really, really high this year. Okay, so that's another thing which has happened. Yeah. And we are hoping all this leads to productivity. Sometimes it's very difficult to really put a measure.
The two and measure.
Yeah. But as long as people are able to bring their whole selves to the workplace and are contributing effectively without fear of retribution, I think we've done a job.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Join our mailing list at chaiwithlakshmi.in/subscribe and keep in touch with us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and Pinterest.